some people aren't able to be in a relationship. A lot of normies don't understand this, but there is a small percentage of really guys, some girls, but mostly guys who are not able to form relationships, attachments to other people. I think, at least for me, because there's people who can't get into a relationship. They've tried and they can't, whether they're too ugly or they're too short or they have no status. Let's say they're 30 something years old and they're a janitor, so no girl is going to go out with you. There's that category of people who can't get into a relationship, but there's also people who just aren't able to be in a relationship. They're not able to hang out with someone all the time, text them, say good morning, say good night, even on the phone. That is a lot for me. Even saying good morning every day, that's a lot. I think that because to get into category two is the people who just aren't able, they're voluntarily alone. They don't want to be in a relationship. They can't. They just can't. I think to get into the category two, you have to have been in category one for a long time. Category one is your girls won't go out with you. I think that when you involuntarily, when you're trying to get a girlfriend when you're younger, and you can't, or you're trying to get girls when you're young and you can't. I think when you're forced to be alone, after a long period of time, after a number of years of being alone, I think that you get so used to it. You get so used to being alone that you're not, and you're also not able to form attachments with other people. You're just not able to have the normie life. A normie life is getting married, having kids, and having a career. I think that for me at least, I am inept at forming attachments. I don't want to at all. I don't have any desire to. I think that's why I'm afraid of dating chicks my own age. I have to date older chicks. Uh, I mean, the only relationship I had with a girl my age, around younger than me, it was like 6 months long, and it was just a nightmare. It was like so bad. It was terrible. I hated it. And the only reason I even did it is because people were like, guys and girls. Guys would be like, dude, you gotta have sex. Wait until you have, because I was 24. I was 24 when I finally had sex. Wait until you have sex. Because I was always depressive. I was always a depressive guy. And people were like, dude, you gotta have sex. Once you have sex, then your life, everything's gonna fall into place. That's like what they made it out to be. And then girls would be like, you need a girlfriend. You gotta get a girlfriend. Once you get a girlfriend, blah 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 blah. They made it seem like all your problems will go away. And I was like, okay. So I pretty much did it because other people told me to do it. And I was like, okay, let me have sex and get a girlfriend and see what it was like. And it was so terrible. And I knew it was terrible. The sex, it wasn't terrible, but sex wasn't what guys made it out to be, and relationships wasn't what were what girls made it out to be. It was not what I was told. And I think, at least for me, guys like me, because girls can get boyfriends when they're young, so they don't ever fall into that loner habit. It becomes like you become like a loner. You have habits of loner habits that you just develop over years of being alone. And I think that from years of being alone, even up to 24 years old, it was set in stone. My habits were set in stone. And I think a lot of guys, the world is telling them that you need a girlfriend, you got to get married, you got to do this. They can't. They can't. They're not able to form attachments with other people. I'll say too personal, but it's too much. It's too much closeness with another person, and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me and a lot of other guys, and so voluntarily we choose to date, and I choose to date older chicks because I'm that terrified of dating a girl my age because of the one relationship that lasted 6 months, terrible relationship. And I knew that I can't have a relationship. I even hate texting in the morning. Good morning every morning is like work for me. That's why I can't do it. I found some cool thing. This chemical called tekinin. It's a chemical from being socially isolated. I mean, I'm not socially isolated, but when being socially isolated, you get more angry and irritable and fearful. And that's totally what I am. I'm especially with another person, I'm more irritable, fearful of that of being with another person. And as you get older, you are become more stubborn. You become more set in your ways. When you're a young kid, when you're young and you're adaptable, you're like a sponge. You're not like a sponge. You're like clay. You're like putty. You can kind of mold and morph into different things, hang out with other people, and accept their opinions, accept their ideas. When you get older, you can't accept like anyone else's ideas or opinions that differ from yours. You become set in your ways. And I think when you get older, it becomes harder to get into a relationship. The older you get, the harder it is to get into a relationship because both of you are not going to change. You're both not going to change. You're both going to remain the same. So to get into a relationship when you're older, you really have to be compatible with that person 100% or near 100% and accept that they're not going to change. That's why also it becomes harder. And it becomes harder even to make friends when you're older. Thank God I made all my friends when I was young. I made all my friends when I was young, when I was a kid. Thank God. I'm lucky that I had that, or else God knows what I would be now. I would be totally socially awkward. But thank God I had that. But when you get older, like now, I don't even want to make new friends. I don't even care about making friends, and it's impossible anyway to make adult friends. It's so hard to make adult friends. First of all, it's like fake. It's kind of fake. The only time you make an adult friend is like if you're with them, like let's say at work, and then you decide to hang out outside of work, and that's still weird. You can't even have work friends aren't even real friends. Maybe you are part of an internet thing, and you try to become friends with someone on the internet, but still, you're never going to be as close as like a childhood friend. So I don't even try to make adult friends. But it's the same reason. You're not gonna. It's hard to make adult friends because you're set in your ways already. You need to find someone totally like you, which is almost impossible. Everyone really is kind of unique. There's slight differences in everyone, so it is harder to make friends when you're older. So it's the same deal. But I think there are people like me, guys like me, we're just unable. We're unable to be in a relationship.